Welcome, friends, to a conversation that goes beyond the ordinary, a journey where we explore the profound impact of silent expression in our relationships. In a world where we often spend more time deliberating our next Netflix binge than reflecting on our own worth, it's time to dive into something real and transformative. Today, we're not offering cliche self-help mantras. Instead, we're delving into the ancient philosophy of Stoicism, a timeless perspective that can be your superpower in the intricate dance of love and connection. So grab your favorite coffee, find your cozy corner, and let's chat like old friends. This isn't your typical relationship advice. It's a journey into understanding your value, empowering yourself, and transforming the way others see and treat you. Welcome to How to Show Your Loved One Your Worth Without Saying a Word, Stoicism. Are you ready to embark on this game-changing exploration? Let's dive in. Let's begin our journey by unraveling the first chapter of our exploration. Know your worth. Now, before you roll your eyes thinking, not another self-love pep talk, bear with me, because this isn't your typical mirror mantra. We're delving into the heart of Stoicism, where knowing your worth isn't just about feeling good. It's about wielding a profound influence in your dating life. Picture this. You're a gemstone, not just any gemstone, but a rare, valuable one. Now, not everyone passing by might recognize your worth, and that's okay. Stoicism teaches us that your self-worth, like the gem, isn't contingent on external validations like Instagram likes or someone swiping right on you. In the world of Stoicism, your self-worth is 100 within your control. It's not about how many admirers you have or if someone fails to recognize your uniqueness. Think of it as a silent power, a recognition of the virtues that define you. Are you compassionate, resilient, or an exceptional listener? These are the qualities that form the essence of your worth. Here's the kicker. When you deeply understand and embrace these virtues, it transforms the dynamics of your relationships. Rejection doesn't shatter your worth. It becomes a mere acknowledgement that not everyone grasps the rarity of your gem-like qualities. When facing rejection or feeling undervalued, don't spiral into self-doubt. Instead, ask yourself, what virtues and values am I bringing to the table? It's not about boasting. It's about quietly acknowledging your worth, independent of external validation. As the great Stoic emperor Marcus Aurelius once said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. In the realm of relationships, knowing your worth is an ongoing journey, a daily practice. It's about waking up each morning and reminding yourself that you are valuable, not because of someone else's perception, but because of who you are at your core. So, my friend, let's embark on this journey of self-discovery and recognition. Knowing your worth is the cornerstone of a fulfilling and empowering love life. Now that we've delved into the essence of knowing your worth, let's transition into the second chapter. Present yourself with dignity. Before you conjure an image of a stoic figure as unsmiling and rigid, let's dispel a myth. Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions. It's about discerning where to channel your energy. In the context of relationships, presenting yourself with dignity is akin to wielding the subtle strength of a stoic. Have you ever found yourself trying too hard to impress, molding your appearance or speech to fit someone else's expectations? Stoicism intervenes here, urging you to embrace authenticity over pretense. Imagine two individuals on a date, one flaunting extravagance to impress, and the other exuding comfort and confidence in their authenticity, who leaves a lasting impression. Dignity isn't confined to clothes you wear or the places you frequent. It emanates from how you carry yourself, your actions, and your choices. Picture a coffee shop scenario. Two people on a date. One is flashy, striving to make an impression. The other is genuinely comfortable in their own skin. Who do you think captivates with a lasting impact? It's the one radiating authenticity, embodying confidence without being overbearing. Stoicism, rooted in living with integrity and self-respect, translates seamlessly into our modern dating world. It advocates being unapologetically yourself. If you're passionate about certain interests, let that passion shine. It's not about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about embodying comfort and confidence in your skin, realizing that you are inherently valuable. Treating yourself with respect sets the standard for how others will treat you. If you constantly undermine yourself, you signal to the world that it's acceptable to do the same. However, by respecting your time, energy, and emotions, you broadcast a clear message. I am worthy of respect, and I expect to be treated accordingly. In the words of the Stoic philosopher Epictetus, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. In relationships, it's not merely about appearances or words. It's about your reactions, your composure in various situations. Do you compromise your values to fit in? Or do you stand firm, even if it means standing alone? We all have our human imperfections. We make mistakes, experience awkward moments. However, the essence lies in how you handle those moments. Do you crumble under pressure, or do you hold your head high, learn from the experience, and move forward? Take a moment to reflect. How can you start presenting yourself with more dignity? It could involve setting boundaries, saying no to things misaligned with your values, or simply treating yourself with a touch more kindness. Remember, presenting yourself with dignity isn't about building a facade. It's about finding a balance, acknowledging your worth, and reflecting it in your actions and reactions. As we navigate the complexities of modern dating, let's strive for that sweet spot, open yet discerning, authentic yet composed. Cheers to valuing ourselves and embracing a bit more stoicism in our approach to relationships. As we continue our journey through the Stoic wisdom of relationships, let's dive into the third chapter, Limit Access. Now, I understand that at first, this might sound a bit old, school, or even strict, but let me assure you, it's not about playing hard to get. It's about cultivating self-respect and understanding your inherent value. Stoicism introduces us to the art of self-discipline and control, not in a rigid or joyless manner, but in a way that acknowledges what is truly valuable and prevents its careless dispersion. In our world of instant gratification and endless swiping, Stoicism breathes a breath of fresh air into the dating realm. Consider this. In relationships, there is often a rush to share everything, our time, our space, our deepest thoughts. The Stoics would advise taking a step back. Why? Because something readily available often loses its value. It's human nature. If you're always available at the drop of a hat, always saying yes to everything, where's the mystery, the depth, the anticipation? Let's get practical and break down how to limit access with a touch of Stoic finesse. First, consider how you present yourself. Dressing elegantly yet modestly isn't just a fashion statement, it's a declaration. It says, I value myself. You're not hiding away, but you're also not putting everything on display. There's a balance, a sense that you are more than what meets the eye. Then there's the allocation of your time and attention. In our hyper-connected world, being selective about who gets your time becomes a powerful declaration. It's not about playing games. It's about affirming that your time is valuable and you choose to spend it wisely. When you're with someone, be fully present and engaged. Yet, when you're not, be comfortable with being unavailable, focused on your own life, passions, and growth. Stoicism, in its teachings of emotional self-control, guides us not to give away our emotional energy carelessly. It's a currency that must be earned, much like your time and attention. This doesn't mean turning into an emotionless statue. Instead, it's about maintaining an inner calm, a resilience. You don't let every little thing deeply affect you. You reserve your emotional energy for those who truly deserve it. The Stoic philosophy invites us to embody this principle of limiting access with dignity. It's about making intentional choices in how you present yourself, allocate your time, and control your emotional responses. This is not a game. It's a silent assertion of self-respect and an alignment with your values. So, as you navigate the modern dating landscape, let's strive for that delicate balance. Being open yet discerning, sharing yet withholding a bit. In embracing the Stoic approach, we discover the beauty of building connections that go beyond instant access, fostering depth and lasting connections. Here's to being a bit more selective, composed, and stoic in our approach to relationships. Cheers to valuing ourselves and embracing a newfound sense of control. Welcome to the fourth chapter of our exploration into Stoicism in relationships. Show, don't tell boundaries. In Stoicism, there's a significant emphasis on action over words, and this principle aligns perfectly with the art of setting boundaries in relationships. While it's one thing to articulate your boundaries verbally, it's an entirely different level to manifest them through your actions. Imagine someone saying, I won't tolerate being treated poorly. It's a powerful statement, but its true potency lies in how that person responds when faced with a situation that challenges this boundary. Do they stand firm, or do they let it slide? The strength of your boundaries isn't merely in the declaration, it's in the demonstration. Let's get practical. If you've communicated that honesty is a non-negotiable value for you, how do you handle it when someone lies? Your reaction in that moment speaks volumes. Walking away or addressing the issue directly and calmly demonstrates that you are serious about your boundary, not just uttering words for effect. This isn't about creating unnecessary drama. Instead, it's about respecting yourself enough to respond in a way that aligns with your values. In Stoicism, the practice of mindfulness is crucial. Being aware of the present moment and how you're reacting to it becomes a real test of your boundaries. Here's where the Stoic philosophy's emphasis on the small, everyday boundaries comes into play. It's about how you react when plans are canceled last minute or when someone takes you for granted. Do you let it slide, or do you communicate through actions and calm words that this behavior is unacceptable? Cultivating healthy boundaries silently is not just about setting limits with others. It's also about being honest with yourself. It's about acknowledging what you truly want and need in a relationship and steadfastly holding on to that, even when faced with challenges. So, As you sip your coffee and ponder this, let's remember that setting boundaries isn't merely about talking. It's about showing through your actions what you will and won't accept. It's about being mindful of the small moments, the daily interactions, where the real test of your boundaries often lies. As we embrace this Stoic perspective, let's strive to be a bit more intentional, a bit more discerning, and a bit more resilient in our approach to relationships. Cheers to valuing ourselves and embodying our boundaries with quiet strength. Now, let's delve into the 5th chapter of our journey, exploring Stoicism in relationships, the strength of walking away. In Stoicism, there's a beautiful concept of detachment, not in a cold or unfeeling way, but in understanding what we can and cannot control. One of the most empowering choices within our control is the decision to stay or leave a situation that doesn't align with our values. Picture this calm scenario. You find yourself in a relationship where everything in you is saying, "This isn't what I deserve," yet there's hesitation to walk away. Whether it's the fear of being alone, the fear of change, or simply clinging to hope, the Stoic twist encourages recognizing that staying in a situation that compromises your values is a choice within your control. However, it's crucial to clarify that this doesn't imply bailing at the first sign of trouble. Relationships indeed demand effort, compromise, and patience. It's about knowing your worth and value so deeply that when faced with something fundamentally against them, you are ready to walk away. Walking away is an assertion of self-respect and a refusal to compromise your core values and self-worth. It doesn't have to be a dramatic exit. Sometimes it's a quiet decision, a calm realization that this isn't the right path for you. Yes, it can be scary. The unknown can be intimidating, but Stoicism encourages facing adversity with courage and embracing the unknown as a natural part of life's flow. This mindset transforms the dynamics of a relationship. When you choose to be in a relationship, not out of fear to leave, but because it aligns with your values, it's a powerful declaration. You're not there out of neediness or fear. You're there out of choice. The courage to walk away from what doesn't serve you opens the door to something better, clearing out the old to make room for the new. So, as we take another sip of our coffee and reflect on this, let's remind ourselves that being ready to walk away isn't about being cold or distant. It's about loving and respecting ourselves enough to say, "I deserve better." It's about embracing the Stoic mindset in the face of adversity, understanding that our worth isn't tied to anyone or anything else. Here's to the strength that comes from choosing what aligns with our values and walking away from what doesn't. Cheers to the liberating power of self-respect. Welcome to the 6th chapter of our exploration into Stoicism in relationships. Focus on actions, not words. In Stoicism, practical wisdom is at its core. It's about judging people by their actions rather than relying solely on their sweet talk. This principle is especially relevant in a world filled with charming words and empty promises, particularly when it comes to relationships. Consider the scenario where someone is articulating all the right things, making promises, and painting a perfect picture of the future. It's easy to get swept off our feet by these words, but the Stoic approach encourages us to look beyond the verbal landscape. Instead, observe their actions, as actions reveal the truth. We've all been there, captivated by romantic words and promises, only to discover that over time, actions don't align with the verbal narrative. The Stoic perspective invites us to shift our focus from getting lost in the allure of romantic words to paying attention to the tangible aspects of a person's behavior. When you start emphasizing actions over words, you set a standard and send a powerful message. I'm not just listening to what you say, I'm watching what you do. This shift in perspective challenges individuals to prove their worth through actions rather than relying solely on verbal assurances. Actions become the litmus test for sincerity and genuine intent. Stoicism teaches us to be rational and to see things as they are, not getting carried away by emotions. By focusing on actions, you establish a grounded approach to relationships, staying attuned to the reality of a person's character. As you sip your coffee and reflect on this, let's remind ourselves to be Stoics in love, rational, observant, and wise. In the grand tapestry of relationships, actions will always speak louder than words. So, let's navigate the landscape of love with discernment, valuing the tangible evidence of commitment over the ephemeral allure of romantic declarations. Cheers to being grounded and wise in matters of the heart. Let's dive into the 7th chapter of our journey, exploring Stoicism in relationships. Healthy skepticism. In Stoicism, there's a profound emphasis on seeing things for what they really are, not just as we hope them to be. This philosophy aligns seamlessly with the world of love and dating, where a healthy dose of skepticism becomes a superpower. Imagine meeting someone who seems perfect, saying all the right things and planning a future together. It's easy to get swept away, wanting desperately to believe in the narrative they present. However, this is where our inner Stoic needs to step in. Healthy skepticism is not about being negative or cynical. It's about being grounded and not taking everything at face value. Consider this scenario. Someone enters your life, saying wonderful things and envisioning a beautiful future together. But it's only been a few weeks. Your Stoic side whispers, "Slow down. Let's see if their actions match up with their words. Let's observe how things unfold." This approach is like a reality check, urging you not to get lost in the romantic fantasy and to keep your feet firmly on the ground. Healthy skepticism is not about bombarding someone with questions or doubting every move they make. Instead, it's about being mindful, listening to what they say and watching what they do. Taking time to genuinely understand someone's consistency and authenticity becomes crucial in building a meaningful connection. Skepticism serves as a protective shield for your heart. By being a little skeptical, you're not diving headfirst into something without ensuring its authenticity. It's about taking the time to comprehend who the other person truly is, not just the image you want them to be. So, as you enjoy your coffee and reflect on this, let's remind ourselves to embrace a bit of that Stoic skepticism. It's about being smart, observant, and not getting carried away by emotions. It's about taking care of ourselves and our hearts, cautiously and wisely opening doors to relationships. Here's to navigating love with a discerning eye and a Stoic heart. Cheers to the power of healthy skepticism. Welcome to the 8th chapter of our exploration into Stoicism in relationships. The power of no. In Stoicism, there's a strong emphasis on self-integrity and the courage to stand by your principles. This directly translates to our ability to say no in relationships, a skill grounded in understanding what we stand for and not being afraid to uphold our standards, even if it means rocking the boat. Imagine this scenario. You're in a budding relationship, and your partner suggests something that doesn't sit right with you. It could be moving too fast or compromising your values in some way. The easy route might be to go along with it, but here's where your inner Stoic needs to step up. Saying no in these moments is about respecting yourself, your values, and your boundaries. Now, saying no in relationships is no walk in the park. It can be incredibly challenging, especially when you genuinely care about the person. The voice in the back of your head may whisper, "What if saying no drives them away?" But this is where we need to summon the bravery Stoicism teaches us about. Courage isn't just about facing external challenges, but also internal ones. Saying no is an assertion of self-respect. It's about showing that you value yourself enough not to settle for less than what you deserve. Of course, there's a risk involved. You might fear that saying no will lead to the end of the relationship. However, if saying no to something that contradicts your values drives someone away, then maybe, just maybe, they weren't the right match for you. This approach transforms the dynamics of a relationship. When someone sees that you're not afraid to say no, that you're not there to please them at the expense of your own values, it shifts their perspective. It communicates that you're someone with self-respect, someone who values themselves. Saying no isn't just about setting boundaries with others. It's also about being honest with yourself. It's about acknowledging what you truly want and need in a relationship and not compromising on that. It's about not letting the fear of being alone drive you into making choices that aren't right for you. So, as you take another sip of your coffee and ponder this, let's remind ourselves that it's okay to say no. It's more than okay. It's necessary. Saying no is about being true to ourselves, about living with integrity, just like the Stoics taught us. It's about building relationships based on mutual respect and genuine connection, not on fear and compromise. Cheers to the liberating power of the simple yet mighty word no. Welcome to the 9th chapter of our journey into Stoicism in relationships. Never chase. This concept ties beautifully with everything we've discussed, especially when viewed through the lens of Stoic philosophy. In Stoicism, there's a profound emphasis on focusing on what's within our control and letting go of what isn't. This philosophy is incredibly powerful when applied to the intricate dance of relationships. Consider a scenario where you're involved with someone and things seem to be going well. Then, they start pulling away, creating distance. The instinct, something we've all felt, is to chase after them, attempting to close the gap. But here's where our Stoic teachings come in. Why chase what's within your control? Chasing someone who's pulling away is akin to trying to grasp water. It's ineffective and leaves you feeling empty. The Stoic approach is to stand firm in your own worth. If someone is moving away from you, let them. It's not about being cold or unfeeling. It's about recognizing that you can't control how someone else feels or acts. What you can control is how you respond. This isn't an easy practice. It requires a considerable amount of strength to resist the urge to chase, to relinquish the desire for immediate resolution. However, it's about trusting that if someone genuinely wants to be with you, they will. It's about not reducing your worth to someone else's actions or inactions. By embracing the philosophy of never chasing, you reclaim power over your emotions and choices. You're no longer at the mercy of someone else's whims. You're in control of your own responses. This mindset is empowering and liberating, reminding you that you are worthy and deserving of respect. And here's the beautiful twist. When you stop chasing, When you focus on yourself, your life, and your growth, amazing things happen. You attract people who are drawn to that strength, confidence, and self-respect. It's like sending out a signal that says, I'm worth it and I know it. So, as you finish your coffee and contemplate this, let's engrave in our minds and hearts the Stoic wisdom of never chasing. Let's be stoic in our approach to relationships, grounded, self-respecting, and focused on what we can control. Cheers to navigating the complex terrain of love with wisdom and empowerment. As we approach the conclusion of our journey into the profound teachings of Stoicism in relationships, let's embrace the concept of silent love. In the grand tapestry of life, your self-worth is the most vibrant thread that holds everything together. Just like the Stoics, you have the power to choose how you react to the world around you. Remember, you are the architect of your own dignity, the custodian of your self-respect. Embrace this power, letting your actions, choices, and boundaries speak of the incredible person you are. Stoicism teaches us that knowing your worth isn't a one-time thing. It's a journey, a practice, something you cultivate and grow. In the world of relationships, the Stoic approach shifts the focus from seeking external validation to finding strength in your own value, independent of whether someone else sees it or not. Your self-worth isn't tied to someone else's approval. It's rooted in your virtues and actions. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic emperors, reminds us that we have power over our minds, not outside events. Silent love encompasses the Stoic principles of understanding your true worth, presenting yourself with dignity, and setting boundaries. It's about knowing when to say no, when to walk away, and when not to chase. By focusing on actions rather than words, cultivating healthy skepticism, and harnessing the power of silence, you navigate the intricate dance of relationships with wisdom and confidence. In the realm of Stoicism, saying no isn't a rejection, it's an affirmation of self-respect. It's a powerful tool for upholding your values and standards, even if it means risking the potential loss of a relationship. The Stoic philosophy of never chasing reinforces the idea that your worth doesn't diminish based on someone else's actions or choices. You are in control of your responses, focusing on what you can influence. As you sip your coffee, remember that embracing silent love isn't about being passive or emotionless. It's about finding peace within yourself, not from someone else's validation. Stoicism teaches us that in the face of adversity, in the uncertainties of relationships, there's strength in being mindful of the present moment and reacting with courage and integrity. So, as we conclude this chat over coffee, let's carry the wisdom of the Stoics with us. You're not just going through life, you're growing through it, stronger and wiser every day. In the journey of love and self-discovery, let's be stoic, let's be wise, and let's embrace the silent power of love. Until our next chat, take care, stay wise, and keep navigating life one sip, one step, one day at a time. Cheers!